Chicago, you are not going to believe what just happened at Wrigley Field. In the span of a few unforgettable nights, this team delivered a walk-off for the ages. A rival superstar got absolutely booed out of the building, and one young Cubs star quietly put together a performance that has people around the league using a word nobody expected to hear this early: MVP. If you blinked over the last few days, you missed one of the wildest stretches of Chicago Cubs baseball in years. And by the end of this video, you're going to know every single detail. So do not go anywhere. But first, before we get into it, I want to know about you. How long have you been a Cubs fan? Were you raised on this team, watching from the bleachers as a kid, or did you jump on board more recently? And where are you tuning in from right now? Chicago? Somewhere else? Another country entirely? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one because I want this channel to actually feel like a community of Cubs fans, not just another account throwing out headlines. And if you're new here, welcome. This channel exists for one reason: to bring you the fastest, most honest Cubs coverage out there. No fluff, no wasted time. So if this video gives you even one thing you didn't already know, do me a favor right now. Hit that subscribe button, tap like, and turn on notifications so you catch every single story the moment it breaks. It genuinely helps this channel grow, and I promise it's worth your 2 seconds. Okay, let's get into the madness. Let's start with the moment that had all of Wrigley Field shaking. Thursday night, Cubs down to their final strike against the Toronto Blue Jays. 2 outs, 9th inning, season on the line in that at-bat. And that's when Alex Bregman stepped up and did something absolutely electric. A 2-strike, 2-out home run to tie the game right back up. The place went berserk. But it didn't even stop there. The game rolled into extra innings, and in the 11th, Pete Crow Armstrong came around to score the winning run on a throwing error, sealing a 3-2 walk-off win that instantly became one of the most talked-about finishes of the entire MLB season. That's not just a win. That's the kind of game that gets replayed on highlight reels for years. And speaking of Pete Crow Armstrong, this is where things get really interesting. Just 2 days before that walk-off, in a matchup against the Los Angeles Dodgers, Crow Armstrong put on an absolute show. 3 hits, 2 home runs, 4 runs batted in a single game against one of the best pitching staffs in baseball. National analysts have started openly comparing his production this season directly to a certain two-way superstar out in Los Angeles. Yes, that comparison. People are now legitimately floating Pete Crow Armstrong's name into the National League MVP conversation. Think about that for a second. A homegrown Cubs outfielder mentioned in the same breath as the best player on the planet. If you needed a reason to be excited about the future of this franchise, this is it. Now here's the part of this story that has the most emotion behind it. And honestly, it's the moment Cubs fans have been waiting weeks for. Remember all that trade deadline speculation, all those rumors swirling about a dominant left-handed ace potentially landing in Chicago? Well, that deal never happened here. Instead, that pitcher ended up with the Los Angeles Dodgers. And this week, he made his Dodgers debut at Wrigley Field against the very fan base that spent all summer dreaming about him wearing Cubby blue. The moment he walked out to the outfield to warm up, the entire ballpark erupted into boos. It didn't stop. By the 6th inning, fans weren't just booing. They were chanting his name sarcastically, over and over, turning it into this loud, mocking, echoing chorus across the stadium. Say what you want about how that trade played out, but you cannot deny the passion of this fan base. That is a crowd that shows up and shows out. Now let's zoom out and talk about where this team actually stands, because the win total is starting to tell a serious story. The Cubs currently sit at 68 wins and 49 losses, holding down second place in the National League Central. And over their last stretch of games, this team has been nothing short of scorching. Series wins over the Yankees, a statement sweep against the Dodgers, that walk-off classic over the Blue Jays, and a road win over Kansas City to close things out. This isn't a team quietly hanging around the playoff picture anymore. This is a team playing with real confidence, real momentum, heading into the most important stretch of the entire season. Some of that surge is coming directly from the new arms brought in right before the deadline. Left-hander Shota Imanaga picked up a win this week, battling through a stacked Dodgers lineup, scattering hits and striking out 6 without issuing a single walk. On the infield side, Nico Horner has been red hot, riding a strong July directly into an even stronger August, stacking multi-hit games and pushing his batting average higher with every series. And in the bullpen, Converted reliever Ben Webb has quietly locked down save opportunities, giving this pitching staff stability in the ninth inning, even while other key arms continue working their way back from injury. And here's why all of this matters so much right now. Milwaukee is still sitting at the top of the National League Central, but the gap is no longer feeling comfortable for them. Every single walk-off, every statement win, every big night from a player like Crow Armstrong chips away at that lead. And on top of the division race, the Cubs are firmly holding a National League wildcard spot, which means, as things stand today, this team is playoff bound, with a real shot at hosting a game at Wrigley Field when October rolls around. That's the kind of stakes that make every single one of these games feel bigger than a random Tuesday in August. And the schedule coming up? It does not slow down. This team is about to roll straight into a stretch of games that will genuinely tell us who they are heading into the final sprint of the regular season. Every series from here on out is going to carry postseason weight. Every close game is going to matter in the standings. And if this current stretch of momentum is any indication, Cubs fans should be strapped in for one of the most entertaining Augusts this franchise has had in a long time. Here's my honest read on all of this. A walk-off win like that Blue Jays game does something to a clubhouse that stats alone can't measure. It builds belief. And when you pair that with a young star like Crow Armstrong playing at an MVP level and a pitching staff that's finally starting to stabilize after a brutal stretch of injuries, you get a team that feels genuinely dangerous heading toward October. This isn't hope anymore. This is a team that is proving it night after night on the field. Now I want to hear your take. Out of everything we just talked about, that walk-off win, Pete Crow Armstrong's MVP push, or the Wrigley Field boos raining down on a former trade target, which one is the story that stuck with you the most? Let me know down in the comments, because I guarantee this fan base has strong opinions on at least one of those. And before you go, one more time, because I will never stop asking. This channel is brand new, and it grows because of people exactly like you. If this video gave you something worth your time, hit that subscribe button right now. Hit the like button. Turn on notifications. I am covering every single piece of Cubs news the moment it happens, and I would genuinely love to have you along for it. Let me know how long you've been a Cubs fan, let me know where you're watching from, and drop your thoughts on this week's madness down below. I'll see you in the next one. Go Cubs, go.